Welcome to the Queen's Lair, a lifestyle podcast. Get inspired by our latest tips and information about small business, entrepreneurship, natural hair, travel, food, and even relationships. Stay tuned for another great episode. I am your host, Renee Patrice. Welcome back, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning into my podcast once again. I appreciate each and every one of you that streams my podcast. We're creeping up to 40,000 downloads, which is just wonderful to me. Like, I can't imagine that when I set out to do this project, which was just supposed to be kind of like a little, side project, doing this podcast. I never thought that it would actually turn into, a possible stream of income. And, with small businesses, we're always trying to find ways, to build different streams of income and, get to that 6 and 7 figure mark in our businesses. So I thank you so much for just being supportive, for anyone that has ever donated to the cause. I know that a lot of people, always ask me all the time, how can I contribute? And I said, honestly, just listen to the podcast. If you feel so led to drop something in the Cash App, hey, Onyx Queen Media, and some people have, which I really appreciated. I had somebody, I think I mentioned this on a previous podcast, where someone, I think they sent me like $20, and I was just like, oh, that's so sweet, but the note that they put with it was like, listen, buy yourself some lunch, girl, because that podcast that you uploaded, whatever day it was, they were like, oh, that so helped me, it enlightened me, it gave me like that word that I needed right at that moment, and I was like, wow, that's so awesome. And so, yeah, it was a little extra $20. Hey, ain't nobody gonna turn that down, right? So, but I'm been in this like encouraging mood or mode, especially since the new year has begun. And I want to encourage people to just be yourself. Just be yourself. I went through this is actually a personal situation, tangled with business as well, and it was trying to figure out the best way to say it. Well, you know what? I'm just say it straight out. It's kind of put out there that people may want you to change your look. They may want you to be a certain way. They may want you to, dress a certain way. They may want you to wear your hair a certain way, or the way that you wear your hair, which I have been told in the past was not professional. People may not know I went natural like 18, 19 years ago, where I let my hair grow out and just kept cutting off the relaxed ends and everything. And then finally, I think in 2013, I did a complete big chop just to start over. And I've done a couple of big chops since then as well. And I just did one last year, sometime in the fall of 2021. I did another big chop again. And I love it. I absolutely love it. I love my hair short. When I was talking to my cousins over the Christmas break, my cousin was like, oh my gosh, I love your hair. She was like, oh my gosh, it looks so good. And I was like, thanks, cuz, I love it short. I do. I loved my long hair. I loved when, my hair was always really curly anyway, but it's just something I've gotten used to. It's something that I think goes great with the look. I think now that I'm in my 40s, I want things, less fuss. I can just get up and go. My mom was like amazed with my hair over the week that I was in New York. She was like, so you mean to tell me you're going to get up every morning and all you have to do is fluff out the curls? I'm like, yes. She was like, it looks like you just did your hair fresh. I said, I know. It's so liberating, I think. I think we as women, when we let go this thing with our hair, especially black women, and I'm going to put Latina women in there as well, because we struggle so much with our hair. So if you're a black woman or Latina woman, you know what it is to deal with mixed textures in your hair. Sometimes it's tight in the back and loose in the front, or, all these different sort of things that we go through. Of women of the African diaspora, you already know the hair struggles and trying to find styles, and we do all these diverse styles, but then is it going to be seen as professional, and when you get in the office and all that sort of stuff. I have been told my hair wasn't professional. This is when I used to be a waitress and a bartender. And I think I've told this story before, where the company that I worked for at the time was saying that braids were unprofessional, and it was just a mess. I mean, they were even talking about locks were unprofessional, but they retracted it real quick. And lawsuits, they were staring down the barrel of lawsuits galore. And they retracted it within a few days and was like, okay, well, your hair just has to be up off your shoulders when you're carrying the food trays, and no problem, but they were really trying to say, that to be quite frank, they were really trying to say that more ethnic styles, or styles that, tend to lean more towards, African diaspora people of color, where you tend to get the braids and you tend to get the locks and twists and things like that. I mean, it didn't affect anybody else but us. And that was a good lesson for that company. I'll spare their name in this podcast, but it was a good lesson for them to get snatched up like that, because they really did. I mean, people really came for them. I had no plans on changing. I had sat down. I remember sitting down and telling my parents what was going on, and they were like, what? They were just so shocked, that this was happening at this time. I mean, this was in the 90s, but, yeah, and this was before the Crown Act and all these sort of things. It was really, really shocking to me, that I had experienced something like that. But it was not too long after that, maybe 3 or 4 years after that I decided that I'm not going through all these changes with my hair anymore. I'm not going to allow someone to just, tell me what's professional and what's not professional, and whatever the case may be. I went to school. I earned these degrees. I paid a lot of good money, to go to these schools and be on the same level of anyone in my industry, and can go toe to toe with them, with the knowledge and everything that I have gained, not only from book smarts, but street smarts and work smarts and tenure at certain jobs. You know what I mean? And the way I wear my hair is not going to determine that. And if you think that the way that I wear my hair is going to, make or break whether I get that particular support from my business or whatever, that's probably not a company that I want to fool with to begin with. You know what I mean? So I say this in the encouraging tone, like, do not change who you are for anyone. I don't care if you think it's going to catch you a man. I don't care if you think that, you're going to lose these pounds and, bulk up your chest and it's going to get you the woman that you want and all that kind of stuff. Don't change for anybody, because if a person is only attracted to you because of those things, then it's going to be a long road later on. Because you're not going to be the same size 2 when you turn 72. You're not going to have the same tight and smooth skin unless you're having surgery, you know what I mean, to keep this stuff up. The Hollywood life is not a real life, Now, of course, you want to keep your significant other, in your sights, and, you want to excite each other, and you want to make sure that you're all good. And that's fine. If you have a contract with a certain company, if this is a professional side and you have a contract with a certain company because they wanted, a person who was modeling at XYZ thing, okay, cool. That's a contract that you signed, You know what I mean? I get all that. But many things can change you over the years. Some people get into some sort of accident and they have to be on a medication that makes them gain weight. Some people are on, women are on birth control, whatever the different things that affect us in our lives. Even the pandemic has packed on pounds because we weren't out and about and moving around the same. So we've had to take the extra steps and effort to, work out in our homes, in our backyards, and go walking and all that sort of stuff. So, but don't let that be the determination for you to deal with someone, because you may be missing out on a great gem. So that personal situation that I went through where I felt, well, not that I felt, it was pretty obvious that I was being judged for a certain look, right? And I basically didn't even respond to it. You know what I mean? I didn't respond to it. I just left it where it was. And I guess the entity realized that I was not going to discuss it. And it's like, listen, this is who I am. And, one thing that I love, there's something that Alicia Keys has been on for the past few years now. She's been kind of on this no makeup look because she was always getting dolled up all the time. And, it just wasn't her thing. And she decided several years ago, I'm not doing this like this anymore. So now she has a very minimal makeup look and she's absolutely beautiful. You see her freckles, all of the, if there's blemishes, you see it's like not a big deal. I remember one time when my sister did my makeup a few years ago. I think it was during Christmas, actually, maybe like 5 years ago or so. And we were going somewhere and I was like, can you touch up my makeup, blah, blah, blah. So she does, and she didn't go in, and my sister has a professional makeup artist degree, all right? And she did my makeup, and she was like, you know what? Your skin is perfectly fine. She's like, yes, there may be blemishes. He was like, you do a little touch-up, whatever. It's just natural beauty marks, you know what I mean? Even if it's a scar from a pimple that you had or whatever. And I know that people go through serious acne issues and all that sort of stuff. Trust me, I've been there myself, but I really just try to stay as natural and holistic as possible. You know what I mean? I try not to eat all the processed foods. I'm on my little almond milk. I try to do as little dairy as I can. Y'all know I love cheese, so that's a struggle. But I just try to stay as natural as possible. I think after I had turned like 35, I was like, I don't want all this clutter in my life. So I decluttered a lot of things in my home. I decluttered my diet, all of that stuff, just so that I can just be the best natural me, as much as possible. I don't do the fake nail. Now listen, I know y'all be doing your nails and they be looking good and all that stuff. I'm not downing anyone for wearing makeup or wigs or nails or whatever. I am not. I'm saying for me, those days are done, and I think as you get older, you start to realize how much stock we put into those things, to let that be the defining thing. I'm all for looking cute. You want to get a nice outfit and blow them away and walk up in the spot, and I get all of that. But that's not everyday life. It's just not. So don't allow anyone to change your core of who you are. If you feel like wearing makeup one day, wear the makeup. If you don't feel like wearing it, then you don't feel like wearing it, because we were all born without it. And we will be fine. I'm all about enhancing, and you want to do all that, that's cool. For me personally, all of that stuff, I left all that stuff behind because I wanted to just be my natural self. And it's so interesting because I have a picture, I think it's my Facebook picture right now. If I go look at it, I think it's my profile picture on my Facebook right now. No makeup. And it's not even a no makeup look. It's no makeup at all. And people don't believe it. And I'm like, I have no makeup on, no mascara. I don't even know if I have anything on my lips at all, because I'm good to put on like a lipstick and like a mascara and keep it moving, but don't even have that. completely clear. And my skin is not perfect at all. And when I get up in the morning, I got those little dark circles under my eyes. But, I don't worry about it because I just feel like this is me. And I will tell you, that picture has gotten more interactions than any other quote unquote dolled up profile picture I've ever had. People were like, oh my gosh, I love your hair. And my hair was just my hair. It was before I cut it. But, it was just my bare face. And I got more attention on that picture than I did on any other one where I was dressed up. Or any other one where I had a full, beat face of makeup. So I know there's something to being natural. Again, I don't doubt anyone who wants to do different. But for me, that has always been my thing. So if I'm honest, I was a little disappointed to get that type of feedback, to get that type of pushback. And it really wasn't glaring pushback. It was trying to be subtle. And I basically did not respond to it because I just felt like, you know what, I'm going to be my authentic self. And that's what I've always done. And that's what I do in this podcast as well. I just want to be my authentic self. And I encourage you guys to be your authentic self as well. Because I feel like that has attracted authentic people to me. When I was doing the whole dress up thing and I couldn't leave out of the house unless I had a full face of foundation, I feel like it attracted that sort of energy to me. And ever since I just dropped all of that, I feel like I get people in that same, in my same energy space. So just another word of encouragement, be you and nobody else, because everybody else is taken. Does that make sense? Be yourself. Just be yourself. Find me on, find me on TikTok. You know what? People keep asking me about TikTok. I mean, Lord, I don't need another thing to update. Maybe I will update over there. I do have my name is up on TikTok, but I don't even know if I have a tick nor a talk on there. But anyway, I'll make some decisions about that later this year. But anyway, I'm on Instagram. That's my most active social media, and that's at Onyx Queen Media on all socials, but Instagram is the one. And if you want to email me, feel free. Hello at Onyx Queen Media. Talk to you later, you guys. Bye. Online savings simplified. Don't search for coupon codes ever again. With one click, Honey's smart shopping assistant will automatically apply discounts to your cart in seconds. Save on all your favorite things. Easily pay less for products you're already buying online. It's as easy as 1, 2, 3. Join Honey for free. It takes 2 clicks to add Honey to your Chrome, Safari, Firefox, or Opera browser. Find savings in seconds. While you shop, Honey will find working promo codes across the entire internet, and you save instantly. With one click, Honey will apply the best deals to your cart. It's that easy. So what are you waiting for? Get Honey. Download it today. Visit our link, www.tinyurl.com/ONYXHONEY. That's www.tinyurl.com/Onyx Honey. Start saving right now.